The whole world I wait for this. I make the beat drop off.
Since I changed up my routine, I keep forgetting to unmute myself once I went away from the automatic intro, and it's throwing me off. It's the second day in a row I had a miscue with my mute button, but it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. What are we saying? It is the day after Arsenal set the Champions League alight, Champions League on fire, and now we have the task of shifting from one tough competition to another, one monumental task to another. Now, Mikel, you've been given what you've wanted. You've accomplished your mission. Because I'm telling you right now that Mikel Arteta was hell-bent on getting this number one spot, this top spot. You remember that ludicrous song, "Coming for that number one spot"? He was hell-bent on that number one spot. Now, it would take a colossal fuck-up from the, you know what, it wouldn't even take, it's impossible. It's impossible for Arsenal not to get the number one spot in the Champions League. We got a 3-point lead on Bayern and like a 5-point goal difference. So we would have to lose to carry it, which is not happening no matter who we rotate. And they would have to slap whoever they got. They could have Pathos or one of these shit teams. They would have to beat them by 5 clear goals, which Bayern Munich can do, but that still would require us to lose. So the number one spot is firmly cemented. It's kind of like in American sports where no matter, even if a team is locked up the number one seed or locked up the playoffs, they always want the number one seed. You want to win the division. You want to be the number one team. I get it. Fair. So that's done and dusted. Right. And a top 2 spot is guaranteed. That means the home leg of any playoff fixture will be at the Emirates. Advantage us, right? Because I'm gonna admit I did not like the fact that we finished higher than Real Madrid, higher than PSG, but somehow the second leg of the quarterfinal and the semifinal fixtures, the away leg was the second one. I didn't get that. So UEFA finally unfucked themselves this year and realized that, yeah, you have to reward the number one seed with every advantage you can possibly give them, which is second leg at home. That's what we got. So everything is perfectly lined up in the Champions League. So we can completely shift focus onto Man United and onto Chelsea on February 3rd. Because we won't play another Champions League game of consequence until February or whenever the playoffs are finished. A lot of teams are going to go in the playoffs. And big up to the Premier League, yeah? Big up to the Premier League, big up to the Premiership. Because somehow the Premier League has 4 teams in the top 8. And I don't think any other country has more than one. Right? There's Bayern, right? And so they got a German side. I think they got Atalanta, an Italian side, Real Madrid, a Spanish side, and PSG, I think. Is PSG up there? A French team. So the English team, a dead version of Tottenham, is in the top 8 of the Champions League format as of match week 7. Is that a Premier League flex? The Premier League is flexing their muscle. No, Chelsea is in the top 8 now. Yeah, so yeah, Chelsea, Spurs, Liverpool, Arsenal, 4 English teams. And Newcastle, right there. Newcastle, Arsenal, Liverpool, Tottenham. It's mad. No, 5 English teams. Excuse me, people. Still got the sniffer. So 5 English teams. Fuck that. I wouldn't even count. 5 English teams. And you got 1 French team, PSG, Real Madrid, and Bayern. You know, it's good. I have to go take a shot at LFC Monster earlier, but like, brother, you know, you let Tottenham get ahead of you in the Champions League. But yeah, it's a good look. So that mission is done. That mission is complete. Now we have to turn our focus to the big bad Manchester United at the weekend, right? But before I get into all that, let me hail up all the legends that are in the house already. Big up to Bluebird, man like the Shell Don. What's the agenda? The agenda is how many we're gonna put past United this weekend. Because United are right where they want to be. They're a confident bunch. They beat Manchester City convincingly, by the way, but so did Bodo. But we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to discredit Manchester United's win against City just because of what Bodo did to them. You know, seeing Man City fans. And you know what I think is funny, right? It's an actual reason. It's an actual excuse because I've played on turf and it's shit. It's a shit surface to play on. The players are complaining about the turf. But you notice that if it were Arsenal that went to Bodo Glimt and got fist up and then complain about the turf, especially if it was Mikel, he would hold corn for it. And I see all the City fans complaining about the turf. No one is saying shit. It's probably because it's partly true still. But because no one really cares about City. Because I guarantee you if that was Saka complaining about the pitch, someone would say these damn Arsenal players always complaining. Bodo Glimt players had to play on the turf too. We can definitely see that or hear that noise coming. Big up to Social Joins, my guy. Big up to the world champion. Yeah, 5 teams. I completely miscalculated. Big up to Brian. Yeah, I think there will be some mumbo jumbo there, but you know, it's still a good. If you're the Premier League, you're looking at this after 7 weeks played, 7 match weeks, and you're like, damn, we got 5 teams, all 5. Misspeaking again, I forgot there were 6 damn English team in the Champions League this week, this time around. So 5 of the 6. It's mad. Big up to Brian. And the thing is, that Brian had to remind me that it was 6 because Chelsea fell 5 teams because Chelsea done snuck in there with a late minute win against who they play? Pathos, yeah, Pathos. Some of these shit teams, you know. Big up to Wahaha. Big up to the legendary Jacques Cousteau. What you telling me? Big up to man like Mido in the house. Love my G. 3-2, tough game, but we win. Listen. Honestly, when the United fans come up and say they think they can get something out of this game, when they say they can get a draw, I can hear it. When they say they're gonna win, I'm like, let the record show that just like Arteta's wicked record at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea, like he has never lost there. And that's a factual statement. Like the Arteta inners will never let me forget. I seen us smoke Chelsea 5-0, and Arteta has never lost at Stamford Bridge, which is true. That's all fine and dandy. But Mikel Arteta in the Premier League, in a Premier League fixture, has never lost at home to Man United. He's never done it. Every Premier League fixture at the Emirates. Matter of fact, we haven't lost a Premier League fixture to Man United at the Emirates Stadium since December 2017. That's 8 going on 9 years since the last time we lost a Premier League fixture at home to United. This was Wenger versus Mourinho, and this was a 3-1 Pogba, and I think that was a Pogba red card game. Yeah, 2 assists, Lingard scored, Lacazette scored. It's been a while. It has been a hot minute. So we go from one tough task to another, right? We just saw Arsenal Football Club go to the San Siro, rotate wholesomely, rotate 5 players, and beat last year's runners-up in the competition. Light work. So this is how good the team is, yeah? This is how good the team is. Out there us demand trophies this year, people. That a team that can do this. Now, that can be like, damn, this is just how much the Champions League has been watered down. That's a fair point. Because let's keep the conversation honest. We know why they expanded this damn tournament, but we're also seeing why they shouldn't have expanded this damn tournament. Brother, Carrot, 1 point from 7 games. This is mad. Pathos, they've won 1 game. Bodo Glimt, that was their first win in the entire tournament. Honestly, do some of these teams belong in the Champions League? Slavia Prague and that. How bad are Villarreal? They're winless. Villarreal, Slavia Prague, and Carrot have winless. Benfica, historically proud franchise, have 2 wins. This is mad. Napoli are way down there. They're not even in the playing spot. The tournament's muddy. Now, luckily, it's only the second year of this format, so I don't think they're ready to bin it and throw it away just yet. But, you know, you can't have the elite competition where you have one team perfect at the top on 21 points, and then you have another team on 1 point. It's mad. This is meant to be a tough competition. Tough. Big up to me, though, man. Thoughts about the Alvarez links? Who's he linked to? Alvarez is a top player. I rate Alvarez lightly, but I don't know who he's linked to. I haven't seen his link. I heard he was linked to a bunch of people last summer, but I don't know who is he linked to this year. Big up Darren Martin. Big up to Cooper in the house. Because with Alvarez has to go somewhere where he is the guy. He is okay. Linked to, okay. Alvarez has to go somewhere where he is the main striker. He is too good to be a backup, hence the reason why he left Man City. Matter of fact, I think this is what's going to happen at Liverpool. You got Isak and Ekitike. These are number 1 guys. One is too good to back up the other one, and one of them is going to end up leaving. So he has to go somewhere where there's not another world beater in front of him. I think he fancies himself against any other striker in the world, but it was a tough sell for him sitting behind Haaland. You know what I mean? You can't be. It's like Kobe sitting behind Jordan. You know, no matter how good you are, you play that guard spot. You know, that number 23 is better than you, no matter how good you are. You know, he needs his own team, and he's good enough for it. Stinky 1-1 written all over it. 1-1 is one of my possible predictions. Gaza agrees. But we can't let this happen. We cannot. We are the Asna. We are the big bad Arsenal who made wholesale changes, went to the San Siro and made light work of Inter, last year's Champions League finalists. And you want to tell me we're about to draw with Man United? Yep, I'll hear it. Because I actually think a draw is the most likely result based on the form that United are in, based on how cowardly I think our manager is, and how we will set up. Because he is a coward. He does smell, he smells kind of, he does have that smell of a coward. We're not going to lie. We know what he is. Yeah. But one person we do know that's not a coward, people. We know for sure that he doesn't cower in any circumstance, in any situation. He invented bravery. The man who taught fire how to be cool. Man like Eva.
Maybach music.
Where them I know, where them I try.
Welcome Left and right, just so just a come. Left and right,
Maybach music.
We've been rossed, we've been bossed, and we pay our taxes, we pay our dues. Our association fees. Like we have to pay to be associated with E-Ross, you know. This is the reason why I go in subscriber mode now. You got men that want to come into the chat and have something to say with the conversation. Now you have to pay to be in the presence of great men like E-Ross, like the Wahahas of the world, BX Gunner, Mito, the Jacques Cousteau, the Shell Don himself, and the General Darren, man. You have to pay to be in the presence of these great men. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Why can't we win? You stink, we stink. Hard to say who stink more. But if we stink at the top of the table, goddamn, what you saying about down there mid-table somewhere? Now, Wahaha, let's have a conversation, my friend. We're going to have a conversation because I know a little bit of something about your team because it was I who sat here in match week 8 or 9, 6 or 7, whichever match week it was, and I said you would beat Sunderland. And every one of you in the chat, every single one of you disagreed. Some of you even laughed. And I said you'd beat Sunderland comfortably. Most people in the chat laughed when I said you would beat Man City. 2-1, I said, and you fist them up 2-0. Should have been 6. So I know your team. And I know you well. Now, those are the good wins that I predicted. Let the record show that I also predict that you would have gotten fist up by Brentford, which you did. Yeah, I didn't all predict all wins for United. I predict that you would lose to Brentford. I predict you would lose to Villa. Even Everton, I had beaten you, and they beat you with 10 men. So you definitely stink. I'm right. I'll definitely agree. You stink when you let a 10-man Everton show up to the fucking Old Trafford and beat you. I even predicted a draw with you in Bournemouth. I didn't predict a 4-4, but you let Bournemouth put 4 past you. So let the record show that even though I've been predicting United in the big games to do business, a game against Brighton, I picked them to beat you in the FA Cup as well. So I don't know about we stink, you stink. You're in the mud all by yourself this time around. 2-1 to the Arsenal, says BX Gunner. I expect us to fight for 3 points and Arteta to fight for a draw. And how does that end? Because if United is going to come at us and play for 3 points, I think we have enough to beat you. I do. Those pockets of spaces that you had to just knock the ball around against Man City, you won't have that against us. And if you do, our recovery time to get back in shape is much, much better. You concede goals. You've conceded 32 goals this season, That's more than Chelsea. And all Chelsea fans do is blame their center backs. If you see Jimmy, if you see Joey, if you see Carefree Lewis, all these men, every time they lose the game, our center backs gave the ball away. Our center backs are shit. Our center backs are shit. They hate Roberto Sanchez, even though he has the most clean sheet next to David Raya. The Chelsea defense have been maligned this season. When Fofana's not here, we're shit. We're shit. We're shit. You've conceded more goals than them. You've conceded more goals than Brentford, Newcastle, Sunderland, Everton, Fulham, Brighton, Palace, Spurs. That's a lot of goals. You man concede. Now, I know that's Rich coming off us saying you man concede. Sure don't score goals. We're coming off 2 damn 0-0 draws. But United's not turning up and keeping a clean sheet anyway. I just listed off all those teams that you've conceded more goals than. You know, shit, he conceded more goals than Twerking Van Disney. Van Disney, you know. Even Boza Moment, Emmy Martinez, you've conceded more goals than them. City, leaking defenders. Leaking. They got Max Elaine and Nathan Ake back there. You've conceded more goals than them. David Luiz played for Paphos. David Luiz, you know. Yeah. Brother. Paphos. He's better in the Champions League. Nah, these are Europa League teams. I'm sorry. Jacques said, anything is possible with Mikel. The setup might hurt us, but I'm looking at the players. How badly do they want this? Yeah, I'm looking at the players. I'm looking at these damn match-going fans. You know, it's a what time kickoff is it? Because I'm tired of these damn fans when they go to games, and it's a close game. Even the 0-0 versus Liverpool, it's a close game. The game is still well within the balance. And some of these fuckers are leaving on the 80th minute in the name of traffic, you know. Okay, so it's a 4:30 kickoff. So I'm expecting them to stay for the whole game and drag the ball in the net. How badly do they want this? I hear that. Inter was good practice for United as they play 3-5-2. Fair point. Man, you are back to playing back four on the Carrick. Big up to Cooper, my guy. So it's more like a 4-2-3-1/4-3-3 from the United people. You make a good statement, BBK. They say the league is bad this year. I beg to differ. It's stronger than it's ever been, says Sheldon. Now, there's a cluster, right? There's a cluster between so Brighton are on 30 points in 12th place. 30 points. And then you go all the way up to 5th place Champions League spot. Man United 35. So 2 games separate 5th from 12th. 7 spots. 2 games. So you go on a 2-game skid and you could find yourself mid-table. You know what I mean? It's mad. Big up to James Bond. Man, as I respect. Wow, good here, G. Yeah, man. These are just the teams that would have come last in their groups. Yeah, but brother, they would come last in the group. But imagine them, there's coming last, because they're coming last right now, right? Like, Carrier, they're coming last, but there's a way to come last. You know, like the Olympics when they're running a race, and then you got like a cluster, the man them like a second and a split second separate the winner, the runner-up, the third, and then there's a brother from Trinidad just slowly dragging across the line and shit. Like there's clear separation. Like, bro, how did you qualify for this race? You know the ones that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like the marathon or like the 400 meters. It's a 100-meter sprint, and some brother is way back there lagging. Like, brother, like you're the best thing that Barbados could put out. That there's got to be someone in the country faster than you that could have been in the picture, in the frame. Carrier knocked out Celtic. They should have gotten a 3-year ticket just for that. Well, he's never made it any secret about how much he hates Celtic, you know, or Scottish football in general. The country's FA don't like UEFA and TCL. I promise you that the clubs are in for the interest and money. 100%. I completely agree. Big up to Darren, man, the general. Yeah, Alvarez, man. Top player. If he was behind anyone other than Haaland, he would have still been at Manchester City, but top player. He can drop in the 10 as well. You know, didn't have the greatest games yesterday against Gala, but one of them ones. Big up to E. Ross, man. Big up to the assembled. Just yelling to everyone and won't pay his wages. So yeah, that's the sticking point. Because I see CB Millie and Don have a crash out. Because Don is just trying to wiggle his way out of, we need to sign top players. And then they hold his feet to the fire and say, bro, but the business model says you don't pay top players top money. oh, we're gonna sign you for a base salary of 100,000 and then you incentive. Nah, like Chelsea, you're not that team, bro. You think man is gonna leave Real Madrid on 300 bags guaranteed to go play for incentive goals at the Chelsea? Nah, so it'd be the other way around. Man should be on big bags at Chelsea, then he leave Chelsea, go to Real Madrid for incentive-based contracts. But yeah, the top players' market value is going to be way above, their wage structure, what they got going on. Arteta and Bertha can agree on Alvarez. Bertha, yeah. I don't know about Arteta though. But he ticks all the boxes for an Arteta type striker, does he not? With the link up play and his finishing and all that. I think he would absolutely cook. Yeah, I'd have him. I will sell Jesus and Havertz to get a Julian Alvarez at the team. 100. Big up, man. More dappings going zone. Depending on what we can win at the end of the season, Bertha might be very stingy with Jesus. He's playing for a contract right now. And this is another thing that we have to be wary of. Yep. When man is playing for a new contract, they play out their skin. We see Mo Salah do it last year. We see Thomas Partey do it the year before that. You know what I mean? So we man to play for a contract, it's a false signal. It's fool's gold. That hunger. And you bet on yourself can be a thing. Everyone plays 4 at the back. They play Arsenal, and it's 5. Park it up. If Wolves somehow do us a favor and Arteta plays for a draw, listen, that would be the upset of the season so far. Now, if you're Wolves, then you look at what Bodo just did to them, man, and you're like, yeah. No, we have no chance, bro. It's damage control. And by a favor, you mean let's go there and try to get a stinky 0-0 maybe, or try to nick a goal, but they're not winning that. I think opening day at the Molineux, it was 4-0 City. Randers had a field day, and the City players know that they have to respond the same way we were sitting here saying, shit. After a dead performance, we go into the Champions League and we beat Club Brugge, and then we had Wolves at home at the weekend. And every Arsenal fan was saying, hey, the schedule is God is good. This is what we need. A bounce back game. And shit, they almost took a point. I think my son messed with my goddamn soundboard, Ewa, because I was looking for the track and I couldn't find it.
So you smell that? What's that?
But I found it eventually. And I just blame my son for everything because he always come and messes with my damn sound and my kid and my general setup. Big him up. Big up to the Assemble. Says City have lost 5 games. Arsenal have lost 2. The difference is 9 points. Yet we have 7. Where's the missing 2 points? And I mean, our lead on City should be in double digits right now. We focus on the points we've dropped. The points that we dropped at the Stadium of Light are the one that hurt the most because we were winning that game. Man City are top dogs in this league. They came to the Emirates. We should have beat them. I thought we would, but leaving that game 1-1, I was still gutted. I think he had scored first, and they equalized it with a sting a little more. But the fact that we equalized late kind of took the sting out of it a little bit. At like a point gained and shit, even though the setup was completely off. But the points dropped at home versus Liverpool and the points away at Sunderland are the ones that hurt the most. Not gonna lie. But I can't calculate the math right now. Hey man, big up to E-Ross, Bullet. You know it. We believe in the Wolverhampton. Listen, now I'm hearing that they've picked up some form. That in calendar year 2026, they have actually picked up some form. And nah, brother. You're going to look at the screen, do your phone check 3 minutes after kickoff, and you're going to see Erling Haaland 1-0 Arsenal. you're gonna see it. You know what I'm saying? Maybach music for Ross the Don. Yeah, he's a coward. Unfortunately, still haven't forgiven him for that low block at Anfield, the supposed free kick. He was playing for a draw, y'all. He was 100% playing for a draw. And this is what I think he is trying to get to. Keep all things equal by the time we get to the Man City game. Keep it all equal, yeah? They drop points here, we gain points there, we'll drop points there, they'll gain points there. Just truck at it. Keep pace, check your watch, like Gary says. And when we get to match week 33, if all things are equal, like now, and we get there and it's 7 points adrift, I think he still goes there and do the low block thing and try to get out of there with going in with 7 lead and leaving with 7 lead. He's not trying to kick the door in. It's not. Don't think he will. Hold the fuck on, BBK. What kind of form is United in? We making shit up. Did I say they were in form? What did I say? Nah. Well, how I said they're stinky, we're stinky. I was separating stink. Saying we're at the top of the table. How stinky are you down there in the cluster? I don't think I said they were in form. Or coming off the City win. The form that they're in coming off the Man City win or the high. What did I say? We need to VAR that, Sheldon. If I said the form, what I meant was the win that they're coming off of at home in the Manchester Derby. Where am I at? Damn, you done throw me off now. There we go. I couldn't trust Amarim to solve GDP, let alone Sunderland. But that's what I'm saying. I saw that win. The same way I saw you getting something at Anfield. Didn't see you winning at Anfield, but I saw you getting something. And I also saw you beating City. What I don't see is you beating us at the Emirates, because you haven't done it in a Premier League game for almost 9 years. You know, but like Nito said, a stinky 1-1 is there or thereabouts. But I don't know. I don't think this will happen. Yeah, I don't see United throwing up a clean sheet at the Emirates. You know, no. I just don't. That would upset me. Big up, man, like Jam Boy. What you telling me? Have you seen your last 2 league games? You stink. Okay, gotcha. That's what you mean. Gotcha. So if we're separating into the league and just the league, that's what I'm saying. You haven't won in the league at the Emirates since 2017. Right? So your last 2 games, a game against City that I predicted you to win, and a 2-2 draw versus Burnley. Burnley, you know. You drew 2-2 with Burnley. Am I seeing that right? With Burnley. Burnley, who you needed a penalty to beat at Old Trafford. A shirt pull. And before that, it's Leeds. 1-1. And then a 1-1 draw with... Oh, fuck off. You drew with Wolves. Okay. Fuck that. Well, haha, you have forfeited any right to talk about form. Yep. Wolves, you know. Yeah. You were always gonna get up for that Man City game, yeah? And I expect you to get up for this Arsenal game. Pause. But yeah. It might be a long day for you, man. All right. Carrick's next option is to deploy the nastiest low block and frustrate Arsenal. Keep out Arsenal set pieces is the single most difficult challenge. And that's the thing. I don't think he can do that. I think if we pepper your goal and get enough corners, we're scoring 1 of them, maybe even 2. I personally think you winning is more likely. You know what? I like this. I'm getting the same energy that I got when I said United would beat City, United would beat Sunderland, and the chat was against me, especially the United fans. Odegaard should have been on the plane to Marseille, 27-year-old captain, who has given us nothing in almost 3 years. Shaking my head, says Cooper. That's a bigger conversation that they do not want to have. That's a conversation that I get shut down when I go over there. But we don't need to be a big channel to have that conversation. We can have it, and we know that it's true. Low blocks invite corners. Just play them off the park by decisive, quick football. They can't run. Oh, shit. Listen, it's spicy enough. Spicy. Play us off the park. Yeah, man. I want to see that. Head saying 3-1. Heart saying 1-1. Arsenal or a draw. Stinky 0-0. Imagine we do 3 0-0s back to back. Brother. Woo. Question. Carrick has a 100% win rate record versus Arteta. See, and that's what I'm saying. All these things can be true. But Arteta has never lost to you lot at the Emirates. So these things will have to go. You know what I'm saying? We will. Blackburn won the Premier League with 7 defeats. Yeah, I don't think we can afford 7. We can't. I think we can afford 4. Yeah, out of the next 16. I think if we draw 2, lose 2, win 12. We win. We win the league. I think that's enough. We can't. In terms of the teams from 7 to bottom, they are better, but the top 6 have been poor. I can agree with that because I can say that Arsenal overall have underperformed. We have. So you have a team that's underperforming, and are 7 points clear at the top of the table. Underperforming so much where Wahaha can say, have you seen your last 2 performances? You stink. And then I just need to scroll down to see that you stunk against Wolves, against Burnley. You know what I mean? And who else? There's another stinker in there. Leave. Ultimately, if Arteta plays for the draw, Man United win. Simple as that. Regarding the league quality, it's always have nots and can't do that complain. When certain teams started falling off, all of a sudden the league fell off. Just say your shit and don't blame others. I remember last year, was it Forest that spent most of the year in 3rd and then ended up finishing a Europa League spot? Now, when you look at the season, just look at the table at the end of the season, it looked like Forest had a good season because this is the team that finished 17th the previous year. From 17th to 7th by any stretch of those type of teams is a huge improvement. But if you follow the league week to week and you spend most of the year in 3rd, then you drop to 7th, you can argue you had a disappointing season. Oh, you don't? Okay. Stand corrected. I can tell you this for free as well. If Wolves get that draw, Arteta 1,000% plays for a draw. Yeah, but I'm City are slapping them, man. We haven't played for a draw against United at home yet, right? This smells like a scumbag 1 or 2-1. Or we can just bop them. We can bop them, everyone was expecting us to bop Forest, 0-0. Or bop Liverpool, 0-0. But United have, on the back of 3 stinky draws, they beat Man City, their city rivals. And all of a sudden, they're going to come to the Emirates and play us off the park. And Arsenal coming off the back of 2 bad performances, and the big United coming to town is going to fold. But when you don't expect anything from Arsenal, because the United fans are expecting them to come and do something. You hear the chest, you see it in the spaces. So they're expected to do something now. So come on. Come play us off the park. I want to see it. Big up the Cupite Reds. Slap the like, says the Waffle Don. You heard. Be here tomorrow for those predictions. City, Liverpool, he played for the draw. I think at Villa he was trying to get out of there with a draw as well. I think he was trying to get out of there with a lucky point. I'm actually very fond of Edinburgh, the nonsense that are Celtic. Okay, gotcha. We try to sign players on low wages with top-up of bonuses, and that will work for young players. This will work for a Cole Palmer. This will work for Caicedo, who wrote a letter saying, I'm a kid from a tiny village in Ecuador. You know, come get me out of Brighton so I can take care of the entire neighborhood. That will work for them guys. This doesn't work for guys who are already established superstars or strikers in the world. It won't. You can't convince Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham, Mbappe, Rodrigo, like Rafinha now from Barcelona when Chelsea was linked with him before. You think you can convince Rafinha to sign low wages? The man is out here having his name on Ballon d'Or. That's the winger you need, not Garnacho or Kittens. We don't need an Alvarez, though. We need tough motherfuckers up top. They don't make it. They don't make these players anymore, Sheldon. They don't make a shit house, Costa and Drogba. You know, Arteta is strong and all that, but he doesn't have the tech of them two. You know, they're making, you know, a little pipsqueak. That's how they're coming off the assembly line now. You know what I mean? The team was set up enough to beat Liverpool and City. The players just didn't kill it off when it was time to. Brother, I don't even remember any clear-cut chances we got against Liverpool, Jacques. I don't. Against City either. I'm not saying it was a Mikel masterclass, but we should have done better. I really don't remember any big chances we created in that game. Either one of them. Big up to Hendo, the weatherman. Appreciate you. Vito out here for receipt. Vito, we got Vito clipped up everywhere, you know. 9-hour session loading on Jody Dread TV view. It's gonna be loud. That's one dimension on view. You have to take into account the threat of the counter. I do think playing Eze and Odegaard together would have helped. Yeah, we think that. We damn near know it. But the manager doesn't think that and doesn't do it. And we know that it could have helped because hindsight is always 20/20, but shit. You know, we look back at it now, we drop points. Whereas Eze and Nani perform and get dropped. So the thing with Eze, right? Like it's very difficult to perform when you know someone is over your shoulder micromanaging you and just watching most people can't perform under pressure like that. You know? It's one of them ones. Big up to Darren. Darren said, I'm not confident about a win for us this weekend. BX gonna say I'm caught between a rock and a hard place. If Arteta wins, I'm going to have to accept him. Yeah. Because you love the club more than you hate Arteta, you know? You know that baddie sitting at the bar and you go over there, you talk to her, BX Gunner. Yeah. And then, when she picks up her purse or she picks up her wallet, you see a picture of a little 2-year-old that she had from a one-night stand at the club. And you're like, damn, I mean, she comes with baggage. And you have to, if you love the cow, you have to accept the cough. So we say at Jamaica, yeah? And you're like, damn, man, I ain't cut out to be no damn stepdad. But shit, you love Arsenal so much. Arteta wins us the Prem. He gives us 12 more wins. We're Premier League champions. I believe it. 12 more. So you're going to have to accept him. The good thing is, it's not everlasting. You do not have to accept him for 4 or 5 years. You accept him and you give him 1 more year because the sole purpose after we win the Premier League title, should he get over the line, is to retain it. And I do have hesitation thinking that we can retain the Premier League title playing this way. Right? Because I don't think next year an underperforming team like we are in certain games will be 7 points clear at the Premier League, at the top of the league. The league, as difficult as it will be this year, next year it could be tenfold and be twice as more difficult. So yeah, you love the club, you accept Arteta if he wins, when he wins. Coming from someone who hasn't scored against Liverpool. Yeah, we didn't score against Liverpool. But don't let me pull your fixture list up again. Do not let me go down and pull up your fixture list, brother. Because you didn't score against a 10-man Everton at home. They scored on you after they went down to 10. Like, if we go through fixture for fixture, it's a dead argument with United. Yeah, that's where you're 15 points behind. You know what I'm saying? Don't speak about Wolves as if you didn't need them to destroy themselves. 3 points. 3 points. Everton, you know. Everton. United looking spooky. They might end up getting Palmer, IDK. Palmer. I don't know how much stock I put into that story. Yeah, I don't think Cole Palmer loves Chelsea. I say that. I think he went to Chelsea because Chelsea was the best option for him at the time. He wasn't going to play over Foden. He wasn't going to play, period, at Man City, the kind of minutes that he wanted. And he backed himself. Big up to Binks. Love. So he went to Chelsea. Chelsea were in a better place than United at the time. And he went to Chelsea. But I don't think he loves it. And, you know, we knock him out next Thursday or next Wednesday. They have a couple poor results. They don't win anything this season. He might ask the question. Because he's on one of them death row contracts, isn't he? Big up to Kwaja. Hope you're good, my G. Your Wolves win was more embarrassing than our draw. Nah. I think United holds the record for most embarrassing things this season. Because you lost to Grimsby in August. You were out the League Cup. And you lost at home to a 10-man Everton team. Those are the two biggest blunders of the season. That there hasn't been a more embarrassing for a big club, pound for pound. The two most embarrassing results this season lay at Old Trafford or lay with Man United. With Grimsby and losing at home to a 10-man Everton team. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Kwaja says Arsenal 2, United 1. Just. Yep. All of the profits. Big up to Simon. We are Wolves are beating City 100%. What? Right there. Beating them, man. Not just a draw, but they're beating them. Wenger and Fergie won the league with 6 defeats. Yeah. You look at the context of the season, but this season, I don't think we would have 6 defeats for us. That means we lose 4 more games. We lose 4 more games, we're getting caught by City or Villa. Can't lose 4. 2 max. And we should only lose 1 more game. Win 13, draw 2, lose 1 more. We will lose another game. We're not going to run the table. But I think we win 13 games. Shot, we win the Premier League. Sure shot. That's it. Big up to Kwaja again. Said we need own goal set pieces or a lucky penalty. That's our shit. I think you have a better chance of winning, true, but everyone saw us getting trampled against City, but you had an agenda. Now, I legitimately thought you would beat them. The agenda was there, but the same way I looked at that Sunderland team that everyone was hyping up at the time, I was like, there is no way United are beating these men. Draws eat up points, way too many. Yep. Win 1, lose 2, you draw 3, you have the same amount of points. Big up to my bro. So you see some of these types of games, you just have to keep quiet and let things play out. But we can't keep quiet, brother. We do content. You know, Boy Ted can go run and hide next week if we make a deal of the EFL Cup. You can't. I can't. You have to. Because if you keep quiet or you run away from it, you know, then you know the faithful, you know, this chat room will not let you get away with it. You know, they won't respect any of your opinions if you only show up and talk shit when you win in it. We don't need Alvarez, but it's a nice to have. He's clinical, isn't he? He is clinical. I'm not gonna lie. I see him play out of position, play second fiddle to Holland, and still put up decent numbers. You know, very, very good numbers. I don't want a player good enough, not on the bench. So Odegaard in that trade, get him out. I'd take Luis Enrique any day for sure. He's the hottest commodity in the market right now, right? Because correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't seen it. Is Xavi Alonso linked with another job? Because right now it doesn't seem like a whole bunch of clubs are knocking down this door. Because if Tottenham was serious, I thought Tottenham would have been like, all right, Frank, you're under pressure. There's a better manager on the market. Let's go get him. But I haven't seen that. And yes, I do think he would go to Tottenham. If Tottenham can land a Antonio Conte, Mourinho, they can land a Xavi Alonso. Or is he waiting for the Liverpool job? I wouldn't blame him. Because I think most of us are expecting what's his name to survive the season. Arne Slot, 104 likes, Bosch, bigger. Darren said, knock after the right. But she bad though, Darren. She bad. You like her. She just happened to have a kid, you know. So you love the car, you accept the calf, yeah? Big up to Suj. Suj, are you still crossover or are you back down under? Let us know, man. We got to keep you in our prayers and that. Need to know where you are, my bro. Big up to Tyron in the chat. Hit the like and subscribe from Suj. Listen to the Suj, man. Suj is our big bro. We have the hero, the boss of the chat. Got Eros, but we got Suj who's right there. You know what I mean? Big up to Mark. Said, do you think the players are annoyed with management or the coach? Like some players get frozen out for no reason. I think they do get annoyed with it, but they can't say anything yet. They can't say anything yet because where do you want to be first? Well, we're first in this and that. Where do you want to be in the EFL Cup? In the semis, damn near in the final. Where do you want to be in the FA Cup now? The fourth round. So they can't say anything. But the minute it turns and it goes, pear-shaped, goes tits up, those concerns will come to the surface. It must. I already said we stink. No arguments for me. It's the stink cup. Jacques say, Odegaard is a hybrid. I see him more as a 10 than an 8. Rogers has Premier League tax, in my opinion. That's the French in me speaking. I actually think Odegaard would be better as an 8 than a 10, to be honest. Because when people talk about what he does best is his press. So that's maybe why he doesn't have any energy left to do 10 things, because he's just out there running around pressing. So play him as an 8, let him press. Let him break up the play and give the ball to Eze. And in an 8 where he's pressing and he's doing all that, he will get help from Deckers. Deckers will help him break up play. But when you break up the play, give the ball to Eze so he can find the right pass. Because if you give it to Odegaard, he's going to make a pass, but it's going to be on the right-hand side. Like he's allergic to the left-hand side of the pitch. Big up to Binks. Big up to Auntie Binks. Thank you for checking in. Most subbed off captain in the history. It's not good enough. No disagreements here. I value competing at the highest level over trophies. I don't want a squad that can I want a squad that can compete for all 4 trophies, even with injuries. This is the first time we've done that. See, the part of this that says I value competing at the highest level over trophies. That's the part of the statement that I have a problem with, that I don't agree with, Jock. Because that is the Kroenke way. That's the Arteta way. See, they value competing, they value challenging, and if you just happen to win while you're competing, while you're challenging, okay. But is winning the primary focus? That's where the disconnect is with me. Because you can compete for 10 years. Like, would you accept competing on all 4 competitions for 10 years? Well, from 2020 to 2030, you're competing. You're right there and thereabouts, but you don't win any of them. But you competed, and you competed well in all of them. Versus a sporadic season where you go on to win the Champions League and don't compete in anyone else. You're out in the first round of the Carabao. You're out in the third round of the FA Cup. You finish 4th. You never really challenged for the Premier League, but you win the champs. I think that's the better season than competing on all fronts. At some point, competing and challenging has to turn into winning. Now, I will hear your point when you say if you're competing and challenging at the highest level over a 10-year period, the likelihood of you landing a trophy is high. And I hear that. But say you don't win anything for the first 5 years of challenging, what gives you the faith that you're going to win something on the back end of it? Versus if you win early in that challenge, it gives you the faith and the confidence that, over the next 10 years, we'll not only compete, but we will win. This is relevant to the conversation, so I'll put it up. And it says, I think winning becomes the primary focus when you have 2 players you can bet your life for every position. Maybe that's the wrong approach. I think if winning is the primary focus, you will do everything that you need to do over the course of the challenging period. And by that, I mean all your transfers. Don't go into a season short, right? Don't let your best left back walk for free and then having to move your right back to left back. Dot all your I's and cross all your T's and give yourself the best chance. But yeah, I hear you. Big says, if Odegaard start, it could be a long afternoon on Sunday. Slow motion play. But you know what, Binks? Slow motion play, but he looks so busy doing it. The play is slow, but he runs around and he makes a busy meal of it. He looks busy at doing nothing. The same way Jesus comes on and looks better at Gyökeres, not doing nothing when he wasn't scoring. Question, I've been hearing Blunderman statue for Champions League and the Premiership title, yet Fergie got his wages and a pat on the back for a treble. Let's kill the hype. He's getting one. He wins us a Champions League, he's getting one. I swear it's going to happen. It is going to happen. Like, AFTV will petition for it. Not only will he get a statue, he will get a stand. They will rename the North Bank the Arteta Bank, the Mikel Arteta stand. Does Wenger even have a stand? City looking like the neighborhood bully after all the people no longer fear them. Everyone got chest. Hey, Debo got his ass whooped. And then Craig became the low folk hero, and no one's scared of Debo. A win is more embarrassing than a draw. Only a Man U fan. James Bond with the laughing emoji. United's so bad it's not even worth bantering them. It has no novelty. Maybe my national team manager and Pep badly influenced me. But to win, I want a starter caliber player for every position. Maybe I'm bugging. I don't think Martinelli is a starting caliber player for a winning Premier League team. So at the Arteta tax, I say we can win the Premier League in spite of him. I think we can win the Premier League in spite of Martinelli's poor play. I don't think he's a good Brazilian winger. I don't think he's a good winger at all. Right. So this is what I'm talking about. Like if winning was the priority, like we would have better left wing play. We would have one of the top left wingers in the world, right? Bobby Perez levels in that. That's what I'm on. Thanks again for the super chat. Suj, I don't think Xavi better than Frank. He's got to be better than Frank. Frank is. I think because they lose to Dortmund yesterday, or did they play yesterday or the day before? If they lose to Dortmund, he would have been out of there, would he not? Tottenham they're going through it. They would have to try something else. But I don't have any sympathy for Xabi Alonso because how did he think this was going to end when he went to Madrid? He thought he was the savior. He thought he was going to be the guy that get Vinicius to run back and work hard. Nah, brother. You essentially did a Graham Potter and ruined your damn legacy before it started. You had a groovy little thing going on at Leverkusen. Fab could be a shout too. Nah, I want to see Fab manage one of the big Italian clubs first. Like he does well at Como, then Napoli, Roma, Juve, Milan, Inter, one of them will hire him. Right? A high stakes job. I don't want him coming to Arsenal straight away because I don't want to hate him. 160 set piece, 19 goals in all comps. Terrible return, and now it's put in the context of the season. Coach the team to play less of the hype. The assembled is straight shooter, Ain't got time to fuck around with the madness. Here for another month, said Suj. Okay. Silly me decided to get myself a fever. Goddamn, Suj. Suj that went all the way to India and eat about pum pum and get the infection in his throat. That's fucking with you, Suj. Big up, man. Hope get well soon. Pressing is just giving him credit for looking busy while actually doing nothing. Yeah, and he looks really good at it. He looks very good at doing nothing out there. Silky. Guys, I told the masses that in the Forest game, I stopped watching the game and I started to watch him. Started to watch our captain. Don't know what the hell was going on in the game. I honed in on him from the 23rd minute to the end of the first half. And brother, he did nothing. Did absolutely nothing. Big up to Guna Rican. Love my bro. Simon said, Cole Palmer is like a Russian lady, available to the highest bidder. If he loves United, he could force a move if Chelsea continue to just, flounder. Wenger and Fergie managed when the league was weaker. I'm not so sure, The thing is, right, when Wenger and Fergie managed, every year that Arsenal and City and United were in the Champions League, which was all the damn time, legitimately had a chance to win it. So now you got teams in the Premier League like Villa and Tottenham qualifying for the Champions League with no realistic chance of winning it, right? But back then, I think the Premier League teams were stronger throughout Europe, but domestically, maybe not so much. I got you, though. My issue with having two players in every position is our manager has favorites and he doesn't believe in rotation. And that's a big problem. It is. Because you can't have guys, and this is why Alvarez is no longer at City. Because Pep tried to rotate. Pep know how good Alvarez is, but he knows that Haaland was better at what he needed. So he tried to rotate, and that still wasn't enough rotation. So if you have players who are good enough, full starting 11, we know, Miguel, if everyone is fit, right? If everyone is fully fit, our starting 11 is Raya, Timber, Gabriel Saliba, Calafiori. Declan Rice, Zubimendi, Odegaard. Saka, Havertz, Martinelli. If everyone's fit, I think that's Mikel Arteta's preferred 11. Now, we can go through that squad and pick player for player where there'll be better players on the bench. Because I do think Eze is better than Odegaard. I think Trossard is better than Martinelli. He's just slow. You know? So, as good as the players are, he doesn't rotate them. You can't have good players, Premier League winning quality players, not playing for extended period of time. I would be there with my chisel. I hear you, but Martinelli is not my ideal left wing either, and Mikel is too cowardly. But surely, even his risk-averse style has to get us trophies this year, and I do appreciate you putting trophies in there in plural, because we can't be this prime to win trophies, multiple, right? To the point where so many men, so many women are putting their face and their names out there saying quad, 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 and then go from that to nothing. If we don't win a trophy from this point, this may be the biggest bottle job that he's ever done. This would be bigger than blowing the 8-point lead. This would be bigger than not winning it despite the run in the back end of the 23-24 season. This would be bigger than getting knocked out the Europa League, getting lobbed Sporting Lisbon in that. From this position, with players coming back or being rushed back, because we can agree that Mascara was rushed back. His words, he wasn't supposed to be ready for another 2-3 weeks, but he can go play 75 minutes at the San Siro in the Champions League game. Rush back. And Capier is next. So if we were to go from this prime to win everything to win nothing, this would have been his biggest bottle job. And then we're going to get into an all-out brawl, an all-out boxing match with the Top Gooners, where we're going to say, I don't care how you want to spin this and how he had us where and how he had us ready to win this. We didn't. And that's further proof that he can't do it. Because if you can have a squad this deep where you can withstand the injuries that you inflicted upon the squad and still didn't, then if not now, when? Now is as good as time. Can't make a meal of this. I'm sorry. Salute BBK. I saw something about Arsenal sending scouts to watch some midfielder from Red Star Belgrade today. Wonder if that's a new signing the Italian scout would have recommended. Is he a left back? Is he a defender or is he an attacking player? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen that now, and I appreciate that because when I'm not on here, I'm reading sports news. Some reason I didn't catch the Alvarez one, but yeah, I need to check into that to see if it's a defender. If it's a defender, I'll believe it. If it's an attacking player, might be a signing way down the road. But I go, can't be, because you just let Ethan go. You just let a attacking player go and made our squad weaker to go scout some Red Star Belgrade. Now, you got injured. Injuries are in the defense, so it might be a defender. The charge. Yep, the charge, Quaja. For sure, that would be the most shambolic bottle ever with this squad, criminal. And then he should just walk. If he has anything about him, any dignity, any pride, you would come to the realization that, okay, you are a good coach. And that's it. You are not a Champions League winning coach. You're not a Premier League winning coach, but you're paid like one. You have the attitude like one, but you're not it. And then you will gracefully walk away for a new voice to come in and win us this league. Because we have to get rid of him while the squad is still good, y'all. That's one of my biggest fears, apart from going trophyless from this point. We're postured to win something. We're postured to win trophies. My biggest fear is if we go trophyless from this position, or my biggest fear is also that we don't sack him while the team is still good. Because I think managers will be tripping over themselves to teach them work with this squad. And right. If we win the league cup, boy, Ted will come in one of those Busta Rhymes chains, gold teeth, slick Rick, rubbing his hands like Birdman, like, yeah, where my apologies? But I told him March 22nd, we will be here. I was so bored during the Forest match. Like you, I watched only Odegaard. He makes me so angry. Thoroughly useless player. We start with 10 men every game when he starts. Yeah, and then whenever there's a switch and they pass the ball out wide left to Martinelli, it's like in the Premier League. In the Champions League is different, but in the Premier League, you might as well just kick it to the other team because it's a lost pass. But he is not a big away game. Not against a big team, but it was a big game given the opportunity given to us by our friends at Man United. It was a big game, and it's a big away game, and he boosted. I'll watch him turn up on Sunday against United. He will. Didier got me a World Cup with Matuidi playing left back, playing left wing, and got me into a final with Griezmann playing 8-6. Mikel has to get it done, but this thing is, John, Didier is a bad boy coach with unlimited talent available at his disposal. Like that French squad is like having a blank check in club football. The depth of the talent in French football at the moment. So he can experiment and do all this type of stuff because he's got so much quality from goalie. Like I think you can name a top flight French team from 1 to like 30 players. If I didn't get that statue, I might get my first arrest of vandalism. You can't, Binks. You know why? You can't, because top gooners they'll be pulling security on there. They will go put their own barricade, put some scaffolding. They'll do something. They'll protect it at all costs. They'll set up surveillance. They will catch you. And they will tell on your ass. They'll be like, yeah, we saw her wrapped in an Arteta out bandana. I just want some excitement back. No spamming crosses and begging for set pieces. Hopefully, what we see versus Man U. I think if we unlock them with a set piece and force them to go into the game, we might see that. But I think the first half, you might just see two teams trying to work each other out. We know Arteta don't want to lose. We know Arteta don't want to concede. I don't think Carrick really cares about conceding. I think Carrick was perfectly fine with winning the game 4-3 shootout. Arteta will take a 1-0 over a 4-3 shootout every day because a 1-0 allows him to come into the press conference and say, we were in control, guys. We dominated them, guys. But a 4-3 seems like it was back and forth and you didn't really have control of the game. And we know control is his favorite word. Now, we need another left winger. Seriously need to go after Surge. Suge. Life, death, taxes, and Suge. Trying to bring back Surge. Guarantees in life. Is it me or Norgard look better at right back than in the midfield? He looks there because you're desperate to see him play. You're desperate to see him play because he's not going to get minutes in that midfield. But Zubimendi is out here putting in heavy minutes. Then he'll take out Zubimendi instead of bringing on Norgard. He bring on Rice or Merino for the long throw. And Serge, that boy was strong as shit. He probably could do real good with them long throws. Truth through our squad is it's deep. They should be allowed to field a B team. Kick one of the shit teams out of the world and play. And play the other French team. Now, we cannot lose this game to Man United, but we will be here tomorrow to do predictions and all that stuff there with my brother Waffle Down on the weekend warm up. It's been a lovely chat, people. I think we've had up to like 30-something people in here. I don't even know what the like count is, but love. I appreciate that. Appreciate the football therapy. I will be on Bruce Banana with the legendary Shane Guna at 8:30 p.m. UK time. So make sure that you're tuned in for that. We will be this. We're not just gonna gloss over the Forest game and go straight to the Inter game and to the United game. We will discuss it all. So it's going to be a damn good show. So make sure that you tune in for that. Bruce Banana, Shane Guna, 8:30 p.m. UK time. Big up every single one of you. Love people. Like I always say, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, we are gone.